Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for July 29th. We're looking at the US-Japanese pair. This pair moved higher today, broke out of previous resistance. I'm looking for this pair to be between 108.60 and on the low side 106.96. Now, as far as what I think this pair is doing, I think it's going to move higher, and it definitely has the momentum to do so after this run up, and we're looking for it to hit some resistance a little bit lower than this level at the 108.50 level. Now if it pushes through that, we could see a run that should move pretty quick on up to the 110 area is what I'm looking for as far as resistance. So if we can get through this 108.50 area, should be a fairly quick run up to 110. Don't know if the market's going to do that, but it's definitely something to keep an eye out for. Now on the downside, I'm looking for resistance or support to come into the market at about this point at the 107.33 area. So this is what I'm looking for in the US-Japanese pair. Now taking a look at the Euro USD, this just plunged today. Dropped really low. We had oil and some other things happen. We'll get into that in here in a minute, but it did move lower. It broke through some key support areas and continued lower, closed below that. I can tell you the odds are pretty good that this pair will continue lower over the next couple of sessions, and that's what I'm anticipating it doing. I'm looking for the market to be between 157.94 on the very high side, and on the low side around 155.14. Now I'm looking for some resistance to come into the market at 156.77 area, and as far as support, looking for support to come in the market a little bit above this point at the 155.35 level. So that's you can anticipate this pair moving down to this point. Now looking over at the pound, we've been talking about the pound past couple of days. We had a formation where the market dropped out of below previous support and then pulled back, created an inside day, and we were looking for a break below this level. Now it didn't occur that next day, which is what I really like to see. However, we did get another inside day after that, so two inside days back to back. Definitely looking for a breakout at that point. We did get it to the downside. Yesterday I talked about a break above this point or below this point, and in that to look for breaks below those points. Now interestingly enough, the pound went down and went past where I projected yesterday by 2 pips. If you would have sold at this point and then gotten out at the previous projection point, you would have been doing pretty well. Would have got a profit of about 53 pips on that particular trade. I do anticipate this pair moving lower. We are looking for the range to be between 2.006 on the very high side, and on the low side looking for 197.15. Now I'm looking for resistance to come into the market at about 198.50 area. So look for some resistance to come into the market at that point if it does head higher, which so far this session it has. Now on the downside, looking for some support to come into the market at around 1.9691 area. Now looking over at the Swiss, the US Swiss, this pair we also had an inside day we had talked about to some degree. It's not my favorite setup the way it has set up, but we had a doji followed by an inside bar, so we were looking for a potential breakout of this pair. If you would have taken this trade to the upside and exited at our projections as far as resistance, you would have profited 44 pips on that particular breakout trade. Now looking ahead, I'm looking for the market to be as high as 1.0514 And on the downside, the very low downside, looking at 1.0282. Most likely it won't reach that. Now I'm looking for some resistance in the market a little bit lower than this, looking for resistance to come in at 1.0491 up to 500. So look for that. Now as far as support to come into the market, I'm looking at some previous resistance turning into support at 1.0400. So that's what we're looking for ahead. Like I said, on the Euro USD, the odds are in favor of it continuing lower. So that's something to keep in mind. They're pretty high in the high 60s percent for it to continue lower. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's definitely something to take into consideration. Now we saw the dollar go up across the board due to oil. It closed almost $3 down today, and we also had better than expected consumer confidence come out, and in the market, this is the first increase since December, so the market really reacted to that. Now, looking ahead, we have the Australian trade balance report due out for June. It's being released at 9:30 tomorrow. That's p.m. Eastern Time. The consensus is that the trade balance deficit has increased, so you want to keep an eye on that news. They also have being released at the same time the retail sales for June, and the consensus is that the retail sales have dropped. So with those two news announcements coming out at the exact same time, it could possibly move the market. Those two are fairly significant news announcements, so definitely keep an eye on that. So until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.